Thanks, Renette, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, 9 Ukrainian soldiers die, and Putin criticizes Ukraine's ties to NATO. And Obama, Kerry, and Brennan head delegation to meet new Saudi king. And Shiite militias accused of executing 70 unarmed civilians. And 8 die in attack in Libyan hotel. DEA builds national database to track vehicles. An Argentine president to disband nation's intelligence agency. And Fidel Castro lends support to U.S. talks. And Costa Rican judge acquits men of killing sea turtle conservationist. And Obama to open Atlantic coast to offshore oil drilling. GVTV News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television Division of Rural Counties Television Network, whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's first world news story, 9 Ukrainian servicemen have been killed while fighting Russian-backed separatists. 29 others were wounded. The Ukrainian government says rebel groups have carried out 120 attacks on government positions in the past 24 hours. Both sides blame the other for the recent outbreak in fighting. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused the Ukrainian military of putting the interest of NATO over the interest of the Ukrainian people. Said the Ukrainian army is not an army but a foreign legion, in this case a foreign NATO legion. President Obama has arrived in Saudi Arabia with a 27-member delegation to Saudi Arabia to pay respects following the death of King Abdullah and to meet Saudi Arabia's new king, Salman. Officials traveled with Obama, including CIA Director John Brennan, General Lloyd Austin, head of the U.S. Central Command forces in the region, Secretary of State John Kerry. Meanwhile, Army General Martin E. Dempsey, chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has established a research and essay competition to honor the late King Abdullah. The contest will be open to students at the National Defense University. Dempsey describes King Abdullah as a man of remarkable character and courage. This comes as Saudi Arabia carried out its first beheading under the new king on Monday. In a statement, Amnesty International said, while we recognize that Saudi Arabia is in a period of mourning, it also acknowledges that there are serious concerns about torture and unlawful detention or beheading by authorities in the past decade. In news from Iraq, Iraqi military says it has liberated the eastern province of Diyala from the Islamic State Muslim terrorists. Security forces and pro-government Shiite militias took control of about 24 villages near the border of Iran after a 3-day assault. Meanwhile, the Iraqi government, parliamentarian, and 2 tribal chiefs are accusing Shiite militias of executing more than 70 unarmed civilians that have fled the fighting with the Islamic State Muslim terrorists. Mass graves have been found in the eastern village of Barwana. Some of the victims are said to be children. In Libya, 5 foreigners and 3 guards have reportedly died after militants attacked a hotel popular with foreign diplomats and government officials in Tripoli. Several gunmen stormed Tripoli's Corinthian hotel and opened fire in the reception area. A car bomb also exploded outside the hotel. Wall Street Journal is reporting the Justice Department has been building a national database to track real-time the movement of vehicles around the United States. Secret domestic intelligence gathering program scans and stores hundreds of millions of records about motorists. U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration created the license plate tracking program to combat drug trafficking, but many state and local law enforcement agencies are accessing the database for a variety of investigations. High-tech cameras placed strategically on major highways are used to collect data about vehicle movement, including time, direction, and location, as well as visual images of drivers and passengers. Senator Patrick Leahy, senior Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, criticized the program, saying Americans shouldn't have to fear their locations and movements are constantly being tracked and stored in a massive government database. Can you say NSA? In news from Latin America, Argentine President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner has announced plans to disband the nation's intelligence agency amid suspicions the rogue agents were behind the mysterious death of a state prosecutor investigating the 1994 bombing of the Jewish community center that killed 85 people. Prosecutor Alberto Nisman has accused President Fernando of helping to cover up Iran's role in the bombing. He died January 18th, just days before he was due to appear in Congress to testify on these findings. President Fernandez said on Monday night she would send Congress a bill creating a new security body that would be more transparent. Sounds like somebody a little farther north. Former Cuban President Fidel Castro has appeared to lend his support to talks with the United States in his first comments since both countries agreed last month to restore diplomatic ties. In a statement published in the Cuban newspaper Granma and read aloud by the student at GVTV, Castro said he does not trust the policy of the United States, but also doesn't reject a peaceful solution to the conflict. And he had said, "To defend peace is the duty of all. Any peaceful or negotiated solution to the problem between the United States and the peoples of any peoples in Latin America that doesn't imply force or the use of force should be treated in accordance with the international norms and principles. We will also defend cooperation and friendship with all the peoples of the world, amongst them our political adversaries. It is what we are asking for everyone." In news from Costa Rica, a judge has acquitted 7 men of murder charges in the killing of a young sea turtle conservationist named Waro Mora. In May, Mora was attacked by armed men in 2013, shortly after an expedition to a beach to collect leatherback sea turtle eggs to rebury them in safety away from poachers. Mora was 26 years old. He was a member of a group of White Cast which coordinates efforts to protect turtle eggs across Central America. In other environmental news, the Obama administration expected to propose to open coastal waters in Virginia to Georgia for new offshore oil and gas drilling. This comes just days after he announced a plan to protect some of the Alaska Arctic National Wildlife Refuge from drilling. Natural Resource Defense Council criticized allowing offshore drilling in the Atlantic. Bob Deans of NRDC said it would ignore the lessons of the disastrous BP blowout, the need to protect future generations from the dangers of climate change, and the promise of a clean energy future. A record 125 people were exonerated in the United States last year. 33 of the exonerations came in the Houston, Texas area, where 33 individuals had drug convictions dismissed after lab tests determined they never had illegal substances. Many of the individuals were pleaded guilty before the lab work was done. Samuel Gross of the National Registry of Exoneration said, "One of the reasons people plead guilty for a crime they have not committed is they can't make bail and have to wait in jail while awaiting for trial. If they are convicted, they might get decades in prison. They plead guilty if they are offered a deal that is too good to resist." And that's it for the world news today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. That's right, it's time for the police blotter. Pictures in the blotter not from these actual events, but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County law enforcement. Grass Valley Police Department on Sunday, 11:56 a.m., a caller from Brunswick Road and Nevada City Highway reported a very strong smell of gas in the area. 1:16 p.m., a caller from 700 block of Freeman Lane reported a man walking on the sidewalk with his penis hanging out of his shorts. He could not be located. 1:18 p.m., caller from 600 block of Sutton Way reported panhandlers. 1:53 p.m., a caller from 600 block of Leduc Street reported items missing from a vehicle. 3:48 p.m., a caller from 800 block of Sutton Way reported a woman and 2 children panhandling. She was cited. 6:44 p.m., a caller from Mill and Neal Street reported a vehicle hit a bicyclist. At 7 p.m., a caller from 1200 block of East Main Street reported a vehicle had been broken into. At 7:50 p.m., a woman from East Main and Idaho, Maryland Road reported a group of kids threw something at her vehicle. 9:01 p.m., a caller from 100 block of West Empire Street reported a man trying to get into a business was gone when an officer arrived. 10:19 p.m., a caller from 100 block of South Church Street reported a man yelling obscenities and throwing things at windows. He was moving on. And Monday, 6:17 a.m., a caller from 100 block of South Auburn Street reported a broken window. Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Sunday, 9:34 a.m., a caller from 11,000 block of Nugget Lane reported a person stealing items. 10:38 a.m., a woman from 14,000 block of Brittany Springs Road reported neighbors trespassing and walking their dog on her property. A man said he got in an argument with 2 women walking their dogs and the dog attacked him. The woman said he attacked her. Reports were taken. 11 a.m., a caller from 26,000 block of Table Meadow Road reported 5 goats were killed last night. At 11:26 a.m., a man from 17,000 block of Greenhorn Road reported 3 men assaulted his vehicle by pounding on his window as they went by on motorcycles. 1:20 p.m., a man from 10,000 block of Brunswick Road reported transients on his property. 3:15 p.m., a caller from Highway 49 and Comby Road reported a man in the back seat of a vehicle hitting a female driver. He was gone when the deputy arrived. 6:05 p.m., a caller from Mooney Flat and Eagle Bright Dam Roads reported cattle in the road. A bull and 2 cows were put in a pasture. At 6:40 p.m., a caller from 14,000 block of Idaho, Maryland Road reported a hit and run. 6:52 p.m., a caller from North San Juan reported hearing a gunshot. Nothing was located. 6:56 p.m., a caller from 16,000 block of Old Downeyville Highway reported someone hit a man in the head with a board. No medical attention was needed. 7:51 p.m., a caller from Greenhorn Creek reported several men threatening people with a gun. In Nevada City Police Department on Friday, 11:58 a.m., a caller from a business 300 block of Broad Street reported theft of an antique dagger worth $48 by a young man. 11:14 p.m., a caller from Commercial Street reported a man threatening to beat people up. He was arrested on outstanding warrants. And Saturday, 5:58 a.m., a caller from 300 block of Sacramento Street reported a shoplifter ran away. 7:14 a.m., a caller from 400 block of South Pine Street reported vandalism to a business. 9:01 a.m., a man from 300 block of Gracie Road reported a person entered his residence was standing behind a curtain in the living room, then either laughed or growled, then fled. 11:38 p.m., caller from business 200 block of Commercial Street reported theft of a wallet from a backpack. And Sunday, 9:05 a.m., a caller from 400 block of Railroad Avenue reported a woman tried to pay for a room with a declined credit card and then did not pay the next morning. 3:36 p.m., a caller from Sacramento and Boulder Street reported a vehicle hit a bicycle. And that's it for the blotter today. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. That's gvtv.org. In today's local news headlines, fire consumes multi-home structure in Nevada City. And local woman arrested in honey oil lab fire. And San Juan Ridge resident seeks owner of vintage address book. And a first story, a fire that burned down an apartment complex 400 block of Spring Street in Nevada City early Monday morning has left 11 residents displaced. Local fire units responded to the call of a multifamily structure in 475 Spring Street approximately 4 a.m. Monday, finding a two-story, 6-unit facility engulfed in flames. There are possible occupants reportedly trapped, Nevada City Fire Chief Sam Goodspeed said. The first responding unit arrived to find the structure 25% involved. They initiated a fire attack. Luckily, they were able to get everybody out of the building. According to Goodspeed, Nevada City, Nevada County Consolidated, Grass Valley, Ophir Hill, and CAL FIRE units aided in the fighting of the fire using 7 engines, 1 truck, and an air support unit. Occupants were initially trapped in the residence, and according to KCRA Sacramento report, at least 2 escaped by jumping out a window. Due to the integrity of the roof, crews were forced to go into defensive mode and battle the fire for several hours before it was contained about 8:30 a.m. Godspeed said that the building's 4 second-story units were damaged the most, while the first 2 units were damaged by smoke and water. Residents also had several missing pets that may have died in the fire. Fire units are still on site around 10 a.m. doing mop-up. The building was considered a total loss, and the fire is currently under investigation. We don't know what caused the fire at the time, Goodspeed said. The residents have been relocated for the time being until we can get in and conduct our investigation and make sure the building is secure and safe before they can retrieve their belongings. Cynthia Trexler was a first-story resident in the complex who lived in an apartment with her daughter for the past 2 years. Morning of the fire, Trexler was staying the night in Sacramento, where she commutes for work, and got a call from her daughter, who was staying at the apartment with her boyfriend. According to Trexler, she previously had concerns about fire safety hazards in the building, including a nearby tree that made contact with the roof and residents living in the structure who smoked. To have some of these trees and bushes removed, it would have been less of a fire, Trexler said. Looking what happened when people are negligent, the owner shouldn't have even allowed people smoking here. Local American Red Cross has requested to assist with the 11 displaced residents, one of whom sustained a minor injury to their hand. Jordan Scott, a spokesperson for the Red Cross Go Country, said he has been in contact with the 6 displaced families, and they are currently staying at a local hotel. What we're trying to do is make sure that the families are okay. We're doing whatever we can to get them temporary shelter, food, and clothes, and if they need it, Scott added. Also, any type of emotional support that they may need. These kinds of incidents are very traumatic for families, and we have can't help them directly, we want to make sure we can connect them with the right resources moving forward. Patrons interested in donating to 6 displaced families from Monday morning's fire can contact the Red Cross Western Nevada County Chapter 530-272-3265. That's 272-3265, or 1-800-RED-CROSS. Grass Valley police officers responded to assist another fire in Henderson Street Sunday afternoon. Ended up arresting a female tenant after it was determined the blaze was caused by butane honey oil lab, said Sergeant Clint Bates. Grass Valley's firefighters responded to the fire in the 400 block at just before 3 p.m. and found a mattress fire in downstairs apartment, according to Battalion Chief Steve Smith. The fire had been contained in a box spring and mattress before firefighters arrived by a neighbor who used a portable fire extinguisher. Neighbor reportedly sustained some injuries. The female tenant of the apartment, who had yelled for help and had second-degree burns and some injuries to her hands. Bates said it was fortunate that the small apartment complex had a fire extinguisher on hand, which limited the spread of the fire. It was determined that the fire was caused by a honey oil lab, and the tenant, Nicole Catrice Major, was arrested on suspicion of manufacturing a controlled substance causing the fire in the inhabited structure. She is currently in the county jail in lieu of a $35,000 bail. Major's boyfriend, who also lives in an apartment, was not on the scene, but it is believed to have been involved, or alleged to be involved, in a honey oil lab, Bates said, adding that the charges will be pursued against him. Penny LaFerme is on a mission to find the owner of Arts and Crafts era address book found in San Juan Ridge. She's posted notices at the site as well as on Facebook, then came to the Union in hopes of reaching a wider audience. LaFerme's partner, Roger, found the cloth-bound book from early 20th century, which measures about 3 inches to 2 inches, lying on the road near mailboxes at Blind, Shady, and Purton Crossing roads. Initially, he put it on top of the mailboxes, but it wasn't claimed, she said. Maybe somebody got out of their car in a hurry and dropped it. We opened it and realized it was really old. The book is inscribed, has a number of handwritten addresses inside, most from East Coast. There's a penciled price inside, has been partially erased, suggesting it might have been purchased from an antique store. Nobody recognized any of the names, LaFerme added. The couple put up notices but got no response, then posted it in San Juan Ridge Facebook pages. We got a lot of interest, but not anyone who owned it. LaFerme said she hoped that the rightful owner would come forward and left the book, which is decorated on the outside with stylized design of poppies and daisies, at the Union to be claimed. Let's hope they find it. That's it for today.
Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon, I could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a
Grass Valley Television brings you local and world news, and we broadcast our 30-minute show 6 times a day on NCTV, Public Access, Comcast Cable, Channel 11 and 18. Also, we're on Sudden Link, Channel 16 and 18. We have 3 amazing series: music, a 30-minute weekly show that airs 4 times a week, and Pride, Integrity, Guts, and Service, hosted by Sheriff Keith Royal and me on a bi-monthly series, plays 4 times a week. We're your community media. And if you have a business and would like to underwrite our shows, we offer almost 200 30-second spots a month on Comcast and Suddenlink. We also stream live on Nevada County TV.org and video on demand there, and our own websites, GVTV.org and Grass Valley Television.com. We also post to several Facebook pages and YouTube, Vimeo, Blip.tv, and many other sites on the web where we mirror our shows. We provide 30-second spots and a 60-second spot for you to embed on your web page or whatever you want to do with it. For more information, you can call